let's just admit all.
Morning, Judge.
We just have one, right? Is it, oh, I gotta get my DA in here, huh? Is it, Bernie?
Let's see. Yeah, how do you say your last name? Is it Brian or Byrne? Byrne, Judge.
All right. Yeah, it's in the wrong queue. All right. Everybody's here. All right, this is 416-130-2022, State versus Jeremy Edward Byrne. Are you going to call Mr. Byrne to testify?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you would, raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so be God.
Yes, yes, sir.
You can go ahead. And I do have a copy of the mental health assessment. I'm going to share it for the purpose of this hearing. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Mr. Byrne, are you aware of why we are here today?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is a mental health bond hearing, which basically means that if the judge grants your bond or PR bond, then you will be subject to the mental health conditions while you're released. And you would have to abide by the rules and conditions that are set by the court. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And currently you are faced with the charge of possession controlled substance. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any other charges pending other than this one?
Not that I know of, ma'am.
Okay. And 1 second. And currently you have a bond of $3,000. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you cannot pay that. Is that right?
No, ma'am. Not right this second.
You currently have a mental health condition. Am I correct about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please tell the court what those what those mental health issues are?
I have mild schizophrenia, bipolar, extreme depressive disorder. That's it.
Okay. Are you currently on any type of medication?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you get on these medication?
8 to 10 years ago, between 8 and 10 years.
So, so were you consistent with your prescription medication, or did you just recently got back on it?
No, I stay up to date with it. It's just that I'm on the street right now, and people like that help themselves to my backpacks and whatnot. So occasionally it gets stolen, and I run into problems.
Okay. So if the judge were to grant you your mental health PR bond, what is your intent to do after you get released?
Just go back to work, take my meds. Like
Where do you work?
Plano Labor Center.
Okay.
Miscellaneous jobs.
And where would you live?
I'm working on that currently. Thinking about a couple of places in Dallas, maybe the Bridge, or rent something, or just there's a lot of places I'm looking at.
Okay. It sounds like you talked to Ms. Fox previously. Am I correct?
Yes.
And so did you and Ms. Fox discuss possibly living at the Salvation Army?
I have. I mean, that's the first place I'm going to go and just see what my resources are, and then probably go from there. Depends on how fast I can go back to full-time work. I'd like to just go back to get my own place, but for now, that'll be immediately where I report to.
Okay. And where would you get your mental health services from?
I go to Metro Care. I have medication waiting there for me right now. It should be either waiting or I'm overdue for my appointment.
Okay. And how would you transport yourself to and from court? Because you do know that you have to report to court on a monthly basis, and you have to check in with Tony Fox on a weekly basis. So how would you transport yourself?
Yes, ma'am. The DART, and I also have a bike that I ride religiously. So I don't have any problems with transportation around Dallas.
Okay, so you're telling the court that you would be able to make all court dates and you would be able to comply with the court's conditions? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Do you
Yes, ma'am.
do you currently have any other holds other than this case?
Not that I know of now.
Have you had any prior violent criminal offenses in your criminal history?
No, I've had one. I had an aggravated robbery about 6 or 7 years ago that I ran from. I got stuck in the middle of, yes, I do, but it wasn't nothing. It wasn't anything violent. No.
Okay, so that was the only violent offense that you remember from your criminal history. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, pass the witness, Your Honor.
Any questions from the state?
Just a few, Your Honor. Mr. Byrne, are you currently receiving any medication while you're in jail right now?
Yes. Not what exactly I should be on, but it's helping.
It is what the medication you are receiving in jail, you do find it is helping though?
It's definitely taking the edge off. I'm sorry, sir.
No, you're fine. I just wanted to be clear. So it's not necessarily what you've been taking your whole life and what you've been prescribed since you said you've been on it for 10 years, but the stuff they are giving you is helping you?
Yes, it's definitely, it's take the edge off for sure.
Okay. Have you had any suicidal thoughts since you've been in jail or in the past year or so?
No, I've had good thoughts while I've been here.
Okay. And you're telling the court that your transportation is if you have a bike that you can get around. But should something happen to that bike, do you have a secondary mode of transportation that you'll be able to get around and go to jobs and show up for court on?
I'll always have a bike. I'll never not have a bike.
Okay.
Either that or dark. Dark can get me halfway here and I can get the rest of the way walking, however it has to go.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Anything else from the defendant?
No, Your Honor, we rest.
All right. Anything else from the state?
State rests.
Any argument?
Your Honor, I just have a moment to read the criminal history into the record real quick.
Yeah, one moment, please.
Okay.
Okay, you can go now.
Thank you. In 2014, Mr. Byrne was arrested for possession of dangerous drug. It looks like the district attorney's office then did not go forward with that case. In 2015, he was arrested for possession of a controlled substance category 3. He was placed on 14 months deferred and was revoked in 2016, it looks like, and sentenced to 60 days in jail. He was arrested on 2 counts of aggravated robbery in 2016. Afterwards, given 5 years deferred on both, and was revoked in 2017 and sentenced to 3 years TDCJ. And in 2021, it looks like in Carrollton, he was arrested back in June on a Class B theft. And don't know what the district attorney's office has done with that yet. And then plus these 2 subsequent cases for this arrest. And based on just the criminal history and his mental health assessment, the state's going to be opposing the defense motion.
Yeah, the problem I have with the case, it looks like it's a drug problem and not really necessarily a mental health problem, but and I don't really think that we're set up to monitor this kind of bond. So I'm going to deny bond this time, and hopefully you'll get out soon. Good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, see you later.
Bye, Judge. Thanks.
See y'all.
Thanks, Judge.
See you later.